Hey everybody, welcome to ChortleCast. I'm Jake.
And I'm Brody.
And we also have special guest.
Steven.
He's slow, but he's there. He's here.
Sorry.
Welcome to ChortleCast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about TV shows, movies, anime, video games, whatever the heck we want to talk about. And today, we have a great show for you. We're going to be talking about that Destiny 2. We're going to be talking about some stuff about Shadow of War. And then I don't really know where we're going to go from there, okay? We're just going to see where this goes. So just buckle in and get excited, because it's mostly going to be Destiny 2. Because these two are obsessed.
I wouldn't say obsessed.
How long did you play last night, Steven?
Like 4 hours?
Yeah, 4 hours. Me and Brody played for 4 hours.
Okay, never mind. You said you were
straight.
like on level 20 or something, and I was like,
Stop spreading fake news. I am a level 20, but that's because we'll get into that.
It doesn't take that long
It's
to
not
level
that
up.
long.
It really doesn't.
Well, I feel a whole lot better because I thought it was going to take me for freaking ever.
No.
But anyway. Well, anywho, let's talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing this week. I'll start off because y'all are going to go off on a Destiny rant. I've been playing Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom. It's still great. I'm still enjoying it.
Stopped.
I told myself this week that I have to stop because I've only got one more world left, and if I beat it, I'll now have nothing to play when I'm on a plane in a few months. So, I told myself, gotta stop, gotta quit.
I mean, there's going to be other games that come out before you have to ride a plane. Speaking of Switch,
Mario will come out the week I'm on a plane.
Do you get it before you go on
No.
a plane?
I get it when I get back from my plane trip.
The week you're on a plane, you're gonna be on plane.
I'm gonna be on a plane for a week.
For a whole week.
I'm gonna be gone for a week, and
Okay.
so I'll have my Switch with me, and that's what I will be doing in the afternoons, since I won't be able to edit or do anything like that.
Buy it
So
online.
that's the thought. I could do that.
You do it digitally. Then you could have it for the plane.
I could do it digitally. I may do that. That's what I did for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom, because I was supposed to be on a plane when that came out, but that didn't happen. So
Did you see that LA Noire is going to be on?
That's something we're going to talk about
Switch?
after y'all chat about Destiny.
Pace yourself, Brody. Pace yourself.
I'm
Pace
sorry.
yourself.
I'm
Pace
sorry.
yourself.
I'm just
I had
talking
this
about
all
things I've
planned
seen
out.
throughout the day.
So
Sorry, don't know
so about Mario plus Rabbids, I actually watched the episode you guys did today while I was at work, and I gotta say it looked really fun, but coming into it as an XCOM veteran like myself,
He's going to say
I was
that we did
watching.
horrible.
No, you guys did good, but I was watching and I was like, these guys are playing on baby mode, like, because in XCOM, like if a soldier gets flanked, they're dead. They're dead. They're gonna get consumed by a spider alien, and then they're gonna get turned into a zombie, and just it's super unforgiving. And like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Like, I'm really glad that the turn-based tactical franchise is being more accessible, because it looked totally playable from any age group, any skill level, and I really like that.
Are you calling us babies and saying that we are in the bad skill group?
No.
Talking about the aliens getting you if you get flanked or whatever, that's definitely what happens to Luigi every single time. If Luigi gets hit once, now when I'm playing, because he's against such harder levels than what we were up against, he just gets torn apart to bits. He has no health. I have him maxed out on health, and I can never keep him alive. If he gets hit, he's done. He's just gone.
I still laugh like every day thinking about that one rabbit that was up on this pillar and then went down a tube, ran across the entire stage, ran up another platform, jumped off it, jumped to someone else.
Just to get to that one spot.
Yeah.
What's funny is, after I watched it and I edited that, I was just like...
Could he have made it to that spot?
I feel like he should have been able to, but I bet you that if we were playing that Rabbid, we would have been able to go anywhere but that one spot. And so the computer had to figure out how can it get there, and it figured out that it could go around the world and make it. But whatever. It's weird. It's got its quirks, but I'm really liking it. There's a part that I played. It's in World 3. It's a boss fight, and if you've seen any of the trailers, you've seen this like ghost rabbit that has like he's like singing. It was probably the funniest part of the whole game. He basically does a diss track about Mario, but it's like an opera singing. So it talks about Mario Kart and getting hit by the blue shell, and it talks about how Mario can only say 3 phrases and that he's stupid. I don't know. It was kind of funny. But anyway, it's good. I'm liking it. I'm super surprised that it's as good as it is, but I'm really enjoying it.
It has no right to be as good as it is.
Well,
I actually picked it up and I've been playing it too.
yeah.
I still
That's
hate
great.
the rabbits.
The rabbits are growing on me.
No.
But I still don't necessarily like them.
They'll do like one funny thing and I'm like, okay, if they keep it like this kind of like subtle humor, that would be funny.
Now, this is something I've noticed about talking about the funny thing. There's when you first get Peach, she kind of like comes in and saves everybody, and Mario like she's floating down on her parachute, and like Mario like takes her hand and helps her down. And if you don't have Rabid Peach in your party, like he kind of greets her, they kind of give each other a look, and then they like pull out their guns and go back to back, and it goes to the fight. I played and I just could not win that fight. So at some point I was like, let me just throw Rabid Peach in there and see what happens. That cutscene plays differently. So Mario's like helping Peach down, and Rabid Peach runs in and is like, no, get away. And then she's like, Mario, take my hand. And I thought it was funny, but anyway.
I mean, stuff like that's kind of funny. I just get annoyed when all the rabbits are like, and like run around and just wreck shit.
Yeah.
And it just really reminds me of Minions, and I really hate Minions.
They're not the best, but you work with what you got. I'm trying to think of what else I've been playing. I've played a little bit of Absolver, not a ton. I downloaded a bunch of games recently.
I downloaded Second Son. I'm doing my evil playthrough of it, and I just feel terrible playing through it. I was talking to Steven while I was playing it, and it's like the very first choice you make in the game. I'm just gonna say spoilers. It's like a 3 or 4 year old game.
It's super old game now at this
But
point.
like, the first evil choice you can make is to like, not sacrifice your tribe, but like, I think it plays the same even if you do like the good way.
Yeah.
That she just
it's
beats the shit out of everybody in your tribe.
Yeah.
But the good version's like, Delson, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, I'm a bioterrorist, and then she just does it anyway.
Yeah.
Like interrogates everyone else and uses her concrete powers.
yeah.
But the evil one's like, no, I'm not bioterrorist. And then
So, Infamous is that game where they do like the whole Jedi Sith kind of thing, where you're either the paragon of goodness or bastard coated bastard with bastard filling, pretty much. Like, there's no in between.
right.
And so the choices are so black and white, it's hilarious. It's like, do you want to give this little girl ice cream, or would you like to kick her dog into the sun? Like, there's nothing in between.
I kind of want to kick the dog into the sun just to see what would happen.
I mean, I
an
go around
impressive
and
feat.
see civilians that are lying in pain on the ground and screaming for help.
And you drain them of their life force.
No, you don't do that.
You
in
just
this
kick
one.
Oh, is that the other one?
You just kick them across the street. That's the evil path. Is you just literally
Yep.
kick this person.
What powers do you get with the evil? Oh, it's just you all have the same powers, but it's just different. Like you have like
Different-
napalm bombs or something that go off. And
Yeah, he said.
They have different play styles.
Yeah, he
Right.
said the video evil's like way cooler than the good evil.
Okay.
Or good video.
So evil video was like the reason I played the game for so long, because when you're good video, it's more focused on staying midair and shooting and stealth and
Right.
incapacitation. So if you're evil with video, instead of summoning angels and using swords and axes and stuff, you summon demons and you use giant claws. And so the playstyle is more focused on summoning a bunch of demons and just firing your ranged torrent constantly. So it's like being a ranged summoner, which is 2 of my playstyles wrapped into one.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I feel like I did good and evil, both. I know I've done that on the other 2. I've done a playthrough both ways,
I
but
did good. I know I did good, but I definitely didn't do evil.
I downloaded Riggs because that's free this month.
I
There was some other game that was free that they didn't mention.
I don't know.
I can't remember what it was.
There's another one that looks like some kind of ship game. It's like Vector or something.
Strike Vector.
Yeah.
That was the other one that was free this month for PS4.
Mm-hmm.
It looked really good. Like when I watched through, it looked cool. But I'm just not a big flying around ships, shooting, that kind of thing. But anyway, I think that's all I've been doing. Other than that, I've been editing, trying to get ahead, getting ready for October, our big push. What have you guys been playing? Does it start with a D and end with an Destiny?
Yeah.
And a 2?
Dynasty.
Dying Destiny. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dying Destiny.
Oh yeah. You and Miles were playing Dying Light before
Yes.
Destiny came out.
Yes.
Because I got
Been playing a
mine
little
at
bit more
11
now.
o'clock on a Tuesday, and y'all had to wait till like 10 o'clock that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have been playing all day, but I didn't get home till 9 o'clock to play. So okay. So how is Destiny?
Me? Or
You guys are so enthusiastic right now. I just can't even
No-
get over
no-
it.
no words.
Steven go first.
Okay, sure, I'll go first. It is better in basically every single way than the first. It's the game that we were supposed to get the first time around, which is really encouraging because this time, like right off the gate, they hit you in the face with the story, and it's compelling. It's well told. The soundtrack is insanely better than the first game. Controls are a lot more tight. The gun quantity is a lot better. There's just a whole bunch of different guns you can use now, and you don't feel as closed in with what you can do.
I feel like so far I haven't picked up a gun that has been like, I feel like I've used this before.
They all feel different. Is that what
I
you're
feel
saying?
like it is. Like we both have a gun right now that each third shot shoots a black hole that explodes or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Are there ever any melee weapons? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I picked up a sword at the beginning of the game.
You're joking.
No, you'll be happy to know that.
Yep.
I'm so excited. Are you serious?
Yeah, completely 100% serious.
I
But-
need that.
But the sword has ammo, and it's the rarest ammo type.
But even if you run out of ammo, the blade disappears, but you can still punch people with the hilt of it.
Y'all are gonna
don't tell
love
them that.
playing with me.
We're gonna be in the middle of
I will refuse to use any other weapon.
We're gonna be in the middle of a raid or like fighting Gaul or something. We're gonna be like, okay, everybody, get together. Wait, where's Jake? And we're just gonna see Jake.
Get me, get you some.
Jake just needs to spend all his glimmer on-
seriously, that's got me so pumped because I've been like, I'm excited to play this with my friends, but I hate shooting guns. And like literally, so all I've played through at this point is that very opening sequence. And I want to comment on what you were talking about with the story here in a second, but I played through that whole sequence. I used my melee, like I'm a warlock, so I have like a force push or whatever. I used that the whole time, and that was the only way I could get like really good kills. So I am very glad there's a melee weapon.
So you're gonna be happy to play Dawnblade then, because that's the first subclass you get.
I'm thinking
So
about Dawnblade. I also like whatever the one is where you just have one throw and you throw like a black hole and it sucks up a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's the
Nova
Voidwalker. So you'll start out as Dawnblade because you just lost your light. So
Right.
when you get it back, you'll be a Dawnblade. But let me tell you a little something about Dawnblade. My experience was mainly happened today. I play Hunter. I was been trying to get Night Stalker today, and I finally got it. So happy about that. But while I was doing a public event to get Night Stalker, I was fighting a Spider Walker tank by myself, and I was severely outnumbered, outgunned. And I was, getting suppressed in a corner, and I'm trying to pop up, take some shots, but it's not working out too good for me. And then I see it. I see above me, just in the sun, this dude with flaming wings and a sword, and he's just swinging, going to town, sending down waves of fire. And I was like, oh my god, that's the Dawnblade. So the Dawnblade can literally stay midair for an extended period of time and just cast down fire constantly. and they get a sword.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking you'll probably use that one once you've played it.
The one you have, it's Nightcrawler, is that what it's called?
Night Stalker.
Do you get a bow?
You do.
Kind of.
I'm canceling
No,
my whole thing.
But
it's a one-shot bow.
it's a one-shot bow. That's your super. You shoot it once and done. So the Night Stalker.
Is there a bow gun in the game, Steven?
No. There's no bow gun. I'm sorry.
Stop! You already get swords and stuff.
I can't complain. I got a sword. That's more than I can hope for.
So the Night Stalker is what I played in Destiny 1. It's more of a offensive, supportive kind of role for the hunter. So the way it works in this game, and I was really happy to see this, when you shoot the bow, it creates a small black hole that shoots out tethers that latch onto enemies. So it's really good at grouping enemies together. So it's like the setup for the big finish. So the Shadow Shot is what it's called. Now it always has, and Brody, I don't think I got to tell you this, it always has this modifier called Bloodbound. That's what it was in the first one. So any enemy that takes damage that is tethered shares that incoming damage to other enemies that are tethered.
Oh, okay.
So you can take out a massive group just by hitting one guy, which I'm excited for. And it's different a little bit. I don't know. I enjoy it, but there's some things, like one of the complaints I have about the game is that in the first one, you could choose between several different choices and kind of pick your build from there. Mm-hmm. But in this game, you have 2 different paths for each subclass, and you're stuck to one of those paths. So if I like 2 things that are from different paths, tough luck. I just have to pick which one I like better and go with that path.
So it's if it's like your melee always has like a different ability. I'm pretty sure it did in the first one. So there's like the Titan Sentinel in this one has a melee ability that when you start sprinting, you'll like start seeing like a light around the edges of the screen, and when you click R1, you pull out your shield and do like a shield bash. But there's also a punch that when you do melee, a shield comes over you and protects you from any damage. And it's like, I would rather stick the force field punch thing in the lower one where I get to toss my shield more as the Sentinel. But I can't.
That's weird.
Yeah,
But,
and so like with Night Stalker, for example, one of the modifiers to the top path makes it so that the tether has way more range, and anything that walks into range of it gets tethered, so it like waits like a trap. But the bottom path is way more supportive, where whenever enemies that are tethered get killed, they give orbs of light, and it's Way of the Hunter or whatever, Brody from the first one. So the whole team gets a buff every time we kill a tethered enemy. So of course that's the one I'm going to go for, because I'm going for a supportive class, but at the same time it's like, in the first game I ran the one that had the longer tether, and in this one I can't, because to me the Way of the Hunter is more important than the longer tethers, so I just kind of have to make it work.
Well, so I never played the first one, so I can only imagine what you guys were feeling during that opening scene, because I was feeling emotional and I had no idea what was going on.
Those first 2 missions.
Just, Jake, listen, like, I need you to understand. You just lost your light, right? Like, the guy kicked you off, and that was the last thing you did, right? When you get to the point where you're walking in the mountains, that is so good. Like, there's the song that plays in the background. This goes to show you how impactful this moment was to me. I looked up what the song was called, and I've been listening to it nonstop since the day I played it. It's called The Journey. And so you're walking in the mountains and in the snow for a week just to find someone to help you, and you have no light, so you're defeated, you're powerless. And it's backed by this just somber cello that just plays while you're walking, looking at the beautiful scenery, which is another thing about this game. The level design is phenomenal. Like, and yeah, we'll get to that in a sec because Brody and I noticed something.
The look of this game, even in 1, has what's always attracted me to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like shooters, but I was always interested in Destiny because of how pretty it was. But anyway, I'm sorry, continue.
It looks even better now. So the cellos come in, and it's like you feel powerless, and they make you feel that both by the fact that you can't sprint, but also like the music just feels like a weight on your shoulders, which is really cool. And then once you like find a gun and you start to fight back, like the rest of the music kicks in and it becomes like an epic, bombastic orchestral piece. And it's like, I wasn't expecting it. Like, you can ask Brody, he was in the party when I played it. I was freaking out just because the music really showed itself in a strong way. But when you play that, you're going to be like, okay, I'm 100% in for whatever we're doing just because of that one moment.
That's cool.
But
So
the level design, though, Brody and I noticed, and Brody, I'll let you explain this one. I've been talking a lot. The Rings of Saturn.
Oh yeah, that we figured you wouldn't even notice. But there's when you get to Titan, which is a moon of Saturn.
Yeah.
You can see like the rings of Saturn. But there's a set piece, I guess, kind of thing from the first game, where a huge explosion went off in the rings of Saturn, and it was like this huge space, like in its rings, but it's still there, and you can see it from Titan. And I was like, oh, that's cool that they like left that there.
That's
Brody looked up when we got there, and he was like, holy crap, the hole in the rings of Saturn is still there. And sure enough, like, it was. And so it was like, it was really impressive seeing that they have this kind of narrative synergy going on, because you can tell they definitely wanted to do a clean slate with this game,
right,
where they wanted to say, this is us moving forward. But for them to acknowledge all of the stuff in the past in a way that is like, I'm happy to see it, and it's not a bad reminder, but a good reminder, is really cool.
I can't wait to play this with y'all. Like, I just love hearing about, and that was one of the things, and that got me hyped was playing through that first mission. I was not expecting online or anything to be working, but like as I would get to like I don't know what you call it, the
hub. It was the hub of. That's why that moment was so crazy to me and Steven. The area that you held off with Zavala and 2 other people.
Yeah. That I kept seeing people pop up, and it was so cool because like I came in running, and Zavala and some other like actual person was up there, and I immediately like came in and I snuck up behind the enemy and started shooting, and I was just like, I gotta help this guy, I gotta help him, and I loved that feeling. It was just like it's like in Absolver, I felt the same way. It's like you see somebody fighting 3 guys, and it's like, oh, I can go help this person.
Yeah.
So that moment. Yeah, where you're holding off is the hub in the first game.
Yeah.
So like
it
was the tower. Walking around there, like seeing it all on fire and in ashes, was like I was getting flashback moments of Brody, Miles, and I kicking around the soccer ball and the big ball, and it just like it was like a lonely teardrop almost fell, because it was like, never again. This is all gone. This is all dead. But it was a really cool callback moment.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Gaul's a good villain too. I really like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Just like the
He looks like a
writing.
Pokemon though.
What fucked up Pokemon would he be? He doesn't look like any
I can't think of
Pokemon.
what his name is. It's some Pokemon. I'll look. Well, y'all keep talking about it. I'll see if I can find it real quick.
Okay. But like just the writing has been so much better. Like there's I actually care about all the characters. And me and Steven start, like, spoilers, I'll say actual spoilers since the game literally just came out. But I think the second time you see Gaul was when it shows he has the speaker.
Yeah.
So Jake doesn't know who the speaker is at all.
Right.
I remember, no, I don't really know. I know when the Warlock girl, whatever her name is, which by the way, were those 3... characters, were they in the first game?
Yeah.
Okay. The Vanguard. Yeah.
They were basically your mentors in the first game. And fun fact that I just learned today, Jake, you've watched Firefly, right?
Bits and pieces. No.
Okay. I would have expected you to watch Firefly.
I know, I'm a horrible person.
Yeah, you are. Watch it. So Cade is voiced by Nathan Fillion, who is the main character on Firefly. Ikora, who is the Warlock girl, is voiced by I forget her name, but she's the second in command on the Serenity in that show.
Oh, okay.
And I was wondering who she was, because I knew who voiced Zavala and who voiced Cade, but I didn't know. And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's fitting. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, like, see, you don't know who the speaker is.
No, I don't.
But it shows that he has the speaker, and it's supposed to be like this big, like, oh, man, he has the speaker. So the speaker is the only person on Earth that can communicate between the traveler and everybody else.
Oh, that's scary.
But there's nothing from the first game to make us care that Gaul has the speaker. So it showed that, and me and Steven were just like, okay.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where, like, if Gaul had come up to me and been like, stay back or I'll shoot, I would have been like, I'll shoot him. Like, I'll do it if you...
But, like...
Was he just a jerk, or did he just not do anything?
No, there was no characterization for him.
He was just useless. And he always was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, you'd, like, go up and talk to him, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But, as we went through, like, more and more chapters of the story last night, like, I actually began to kind of like the speaker.
The speaker's cool now. Because there's one...
Are you talking about that one conversation they had?
Yeah, I kind of remember what it was. So, the speaker is talking to Gaul, and Gaul is like, what does it mean to be a guardian or something like that?
Yeah, to get blessed by the light.
Yeah, and so the speaker says, it's kind of like the Jedi code, you know,
right.
The anger leads to hate, all that kind of stuff. He was saying all that, and he said, and the last two he said were sacrifice and death. And so he's saying this leads to this leads to this, sacrifice leads to death. And then he looked at Gaul and said, so you can just go ahead and kill yourself.
It's just like, oh my god. I was like,
it was like...
The speaker just made me want to use the gif of, like, the
blinking
super hot fire.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Okay, I can't find the Pokemon I'm thinking of, but...
He would be a scary-ass Pokemon. I don't know what Pokemon
he looks... Oh, wait, no, okay, I got it. Hang on, I know exactly what it is now. It's the one from Silver. Legendary Pokemon from...
What?
Silver. Or maybe
You think
White.
he looks like Lugia?
Okay, I played Silver as a kid a lot, and I don't know of anything that looks like Gaul from Silver.
Hang on. This guy.
Palkia?
Palkia.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to look that up. How do you spell it?
I don't know.
Palkia. I think it's Palkia.
That's who he looks like to me.
Like the one from the Super Smash Brothers map that would flip it upside down?
Yes.
Yeah, which generation is this?
Palkia's that's white and black.
It's white and black, yeah.
Okay, I can see it from the armor.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Without a long
Okay.
neck.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, whatever. Anyway.
I bet if you asked the people that designed Gaul, was Palkia like
an inspiration
for this? They'd be like, you were the only person that's gotten it.
Where's my prize? Do I get to be the next villain?
Oh man, I wish I had more money when I went to launch for Destiny. There were so many like
cool stuff,
accessories.
I tell you what, I'm excited now that I am a Destiny player because I can get some Destiny cool stuff and be like, ha!
You even have the straps on your backpack?
I have on my backpack. I don't have my backpack here, but I've got some cool patches.
Yeah, it's the
Warlock, the Titan.
Yeah.
Got it in Loot Crate. Hashtag not sponsored. But,
hashtag wish we were sponsored, Loot Crate.
They've got some really good merch for Destiny.
That's what I'm saying. Like I loved the look and feel of the game, and like all their shirts and everything. I was just like, I wish I could get into this. Mm-hmm. So,
I think the only thing I've seen so far about people complaining about is microtransaction stuff
and the shaders.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So where do y'all stand? So basically, they're now consumable instead of. I guess you had them for everything.
Yeah. In the first game, it was just something you bought and you could put in your vault. And when you applied it, it applied to your whole body. You couldn't do individual pieces like in this game.
Okay.
But it didn't consume it. Because the cool thing about it was you could just collect all these different shaders and be like, I want to be this color now.
Yeah, there were times.
Oh, gosh,
there were
so,
times
like-
when I was running with Miles and Brody, and we would just be like, "We're gonna be blue and yellow. We're gonna look like Power Rangers today," and we could do that because it cost nothing to do.
Right. So you're telling me that you'll get a red shader, and you can use it on your helmet, and that's it. It's gone.
You can use it on your guns too.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I just learned that
Oh,
today.
that's
let me
crazy.
find the thing. Luke Smith. I think he's like basically like what Jeff
Kaplan.
Kaplan is
For
to
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
I read somebody, I don't know if this is who you're talking about, but they basically said they did it so that it would be more of a reward. Like you're going to be getting them constantly. He said once you hit level 20, you're supposedly going to get more.
Yeah, this was his
more
quote.
frequently.
From his Twitter account. Shaders are earned through gameplay, leveling, chests, engrams, vendors. We expect you'll be flush with shaders as you continue to play. Shut up. I'll pause. You're just gonna ignore it?
Yeah, I'm not answering it. It's fucking 6:30.
Who do they think we are? McDonald's? When you reach level 20, shaders will drop more often, vendor rewards, destination play, and in-game activities. Shaders are now an ongoing reward for playing. Customization will inspire gameplay. Each planet has unique armor and shader rewards. With Destiny 2, we want statements like, I want to run the raids, or go back to Titan to get more of its shader to be possible.
Here's the problem
And the
with
top
that.
comment was like, I have never said I want to run the raid for that shader.
Yeah, here's the problem with that. They're acting like they already don't kind of keep the raid loot exclusive enough as it is. Unless if they change that in this game. If they made it to where, like, gun drops that I want specifically from a raid boss are higher, then great, that's fine. But the problem is, that's just them trying to force longevity. By forcing you to do certain activities to get things that you're going to have to consume. And I don't like that. But I will definitely say I much prefer the fact that you can shade weapons and individual pieces now.
Yeah.
Because that's really cool. But them being consumable, I'm on the fence about it. Because I have gotten a lot. But go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say that the real negative to me is now it sounds like you're going to have to decide how you want your character to look and then work towards that, and then you're never going to want to change.
Pretty much.
Unless you just have a backup stock of colors that you can switch to on the fly.
Unless they're dropping as much as he says they will, then yeah.
But I'm hoping that also means that they're going to lean more towards getting armor that you're going to stick with easier, because there are mods now too, so you can mod out armor and weapons with augments.
Okay.
I haven't touched that yet,
I haven't either.
but that's good news. I'm hoping that exotics, there are a lot more of them, but I hope we don't shy away from the really specific things that exotics would do, because that was one of the cool things. Like there was this one helmet, I didn't use it, but I thought it was a cool idea in the first game that made it to where your golden gun, if you played Gunslinger, only had one shot per use, but it was a super powerful shot. So whatever gear you were wearing in the first game kind of made you force into a certain playstyle. So I wore this chest piece that made me generate a bunch of orbs of light. So I was giving super abilities to everyone in my team a lot easier. And I hope we don't lose that in this game, and that there is gear out there that when you see it, you think, oh man, this guy can do that no one else can, just because he has that piece of armor. I hope we get more of that, because that was really cool. Because at that point, like, I would be a gunslinger and another guy would be a gunslinger, but I would be a different gunslinger because of the exotic piece that I had.
I'm so excited to play more of this game. I just want to go home and play more with you guys. But I can't. I have to work like a slave. Slave to the man. Is there anything else you want to talk about Destiny? Y'all pretty much good?
I'm good right now.
Is there anything else you have seen that you just don't like at this point?
Not really. I haven't had any major complaints.
I thought it was weird the way they did subclasses, like acquiring them.
Doing the public events, and because it's random.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
Getting the subclasses is really cool now.
Yeah, the actual quest you do to get them is awesome.
Yeah, I've seen that. Where you go and you kind of like see all the moves and the stars or something like that.
Well, you see like the lore of these classes, and I thought that was really cool that they added these in.
So how many subclasses are there?
There's 3 for each class.
Okay, I was under the impression there were only 2 for each class.
When the first game launched, there was, and they didn't announce that there was going to be 3 before the game came out.
That literally is what made me buy the game, because I've been kind of strapped financially this past couple weeks. And so Brody texted me, and he was like, hey, the Taken King subclasses are back for Destiny 2. And so at that moment, I read that text, and I was like, okay, so I'm trading in this game, this game, this game. Like, I immediately was like, I've got to get this game, because the Night Stalker, the Void Bow class, was what I played in 1, and I really wanted it back. But, yeah, there are 3 subclasses. And the way you get them, Jake, just to educate you and anyone else watching who may be playing it, when you start off, you're going to be the new subclass. So, as Warlock, you will be a Dawnblade. As a Hunter, you'd be an Orc Strider, Titan, Sentinel. Then you play as that subclass till you hit level 7 or 8. People have said both. Let's just say 8. So at level 8, when you get a loot chest from a explorable area, it has to be a specific chest to that area, but it doesn't have to be group events, because I got one from a boss chest. You have a chance of getting an artifact for the next subclass. At level 8, it'll be the class you started off as in the game. So the Void Walker, for you, the one that shot the big bomb, that's what you'll get at level 8 randomly.
Okay.
And so when you get that, you have to get so many kills alongside fellow players or in group events. So if you have a fire team, it's way easy. Like, it takes maybe 10 minutes. But if you're by yourself, like I learned today when I was getting the Night Stalker, it took me 2.5 hours to get all the kills.
Wow.
Because players are all over the place now. Like, they don't stick in one area very much because fast travel is a thing. So they're hopping constantly. So level 15 is when you can get the Taken King classes. But the randomness, as they've said, because people have said, joking around, they were like, oh, great, now I have to pray to RN Jesus to get my subclass. But
It's not that bad. I think what
it's
I read
not that bad.
was, once you hit 7 or 8, it's the next, like, big chest you open. Like, not like a common chest. It's the second, like, chest you get from, like, a public event or stuff like that.
Yeah, the Gunslinger artifact took me 2 chests. It was 2 public events is what it was.
Yeah.
And then the Night Stalker chest took me 1 public event and a boss. And then I got it. So the artifacts drop, unless if I'm like super lucky, like ridiculously lucky, then the artifact drop is really generous. You won't spend more than maybe 10, 20 minutes looking for the artifact once you've got the level. So that's good at least.
That's cool. So, is there potential for DLC in this game having even more subclasses?
I said that to Steven last night.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
They're based off the elements in the game right now. So it's Void, Arc, and Solar.
Right.
So they'd have to add some kind of new element.
I think the game would benefit from that, though, in some way. It may break it a little bit, because then you would have to add more guns that have those elements, but I think it would be a nice curve.
I mean, they already added some kind of new thing with the Cold Heart, didn't they?
Did they? I haven't gotten my Cold Heart yet.
I haven't either.
I think they said it was some kind of, like, new thing. I don't remember what it was, though. You don't get Cold Heart till the end of the game, though.
You already have a Cold Heart.
I do.
So I heard... so would it be like an ice element, maybe? Is that what they're going for? Or is that...
Oh, that would be
like
cool.
for Cold Heart? So if they did do that, and this is just me speculating, none of this is true. I did hear a rumor that early on, a subclass for the Warlock or a 4th class in general was going to be a necromancer type that could summon things. So if they do like an ice element, then maybe they could do like, a warlock subclass that can raise the dead. I would play that. That would be me.
Elsa.
Like forever on Destiny.
Let it snow.
But-
Let it snow.
That, or I guess they could probably like add another class. Like the necromancer thing would sound like
Yeah.
a void class.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't mind if they just added different classes for like,
but with those same elements.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited to continue playing Destiny 2 with you guys.
I don't want to play with you.
So, hey, are we going to have a fire team? What are we going to call our team? Are we going to have a clan?
I will come up with a clan name.
Can it be
If
Chortle
you guys
Clan?
want me to.
Can it be Clan Chortle?
Yeah.
It'll be
I doubt
called,
anyone else will take it.
the clown.
The
Where's
Clown
the
Clan?
The clown clan.
Is that what we can call our fan base?
Yes.
The Clown Clan?
What's up, clowners?
That's dangerously close to ICP, and you don't want to associate with them.
What's up, clownies?
Fine. We'll come up with something.
So just saying,
bots.
just to show my resume here for coming up with team names. We have a trivia night on Tuesdays that we go to, and our team name is Quizness in the front, Party in the back.
Oh, that's so great. That's so good.
I came up with it. It
I
was all
love
me.
it.
There's a bar up here that does trivia night, and I went to go pick up food from there.
We
one
should
night,
go.
and it's packed.
Oh yeah.
Like the entire building was full, and I was like, I didn't know that many people actually cared about trivia nights.
I've got some coworkers that go, and I try to tell Allison we should go, but she does not like trivia. But she went to trivia with you guys.
Yeah, she went with us, and she
and
did pretty good.
She said she had a lot of fun. So maybe she's like gotten a taste.
I would love to do trivia with you guys.
I would too.
If-
When she was telling me she was with you guys, and she was telling me everybody that was there, the more she kept listening, I was like, holy crap, this is like the Avengers of trivia. Like, these guys know everything. With their combined knowledge, they could do anything.
I really want to eat at that restaurant. I won't say what it is, but
No, it's fine. You can say it.
okay, Dave's. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, Dave's Dark Horse. It's great. They have good pizza.
They have expensive food. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's really
expensive.
good.
There's a pizza there that takes 3 hours to cook, I think,
Oh yeah.
and it's like over $100.
Yeah, it's huge. It's absolutely huge.
No.
They also have they have my favorite kind of beer, but I have no idea what it's called. I walked up to the bar. I told the lady, I said, I don't like beer. What would you suggest? I said, I know I like ambers, and I like it to be dark, but that's all I got for you. And she said, well, here, try this, and gave it to me, and it was the best beer I've ever had. No idea what it was called. Could never ask for it. So I don't know how I'm gonna find it again, but whatever. Anyway,
Just go up to that same person and say the same exact thing.
speaking of beer,
Say, but give me like shot glasses full, and you do taste tests of each one until you find the shoe that fits.
I'll never know. I'll never know. Speaking of the shoe that fits,
Ooh, was that a good segue?
that was a great segue. LA Noire is coming to Switch and VR
How was that the shoe that? How was that a good segue?
because it's detecting. You're trying to find who's the shoe fits.
Okay.
That was
That's
brilliant.
a reach. That's a reach.
No.
So the better would have been, talking about the shot glasses, I would have had to use my deductive reasoning to figure out which one was which. Speaking of deductive reasoning, LA Noire on the Switch. Sorry.
Whatever. LA Noire. It's technically a remastered version because it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
Who asked for this? I still just laugh every time I think of LA Noire because I just see all the YouTube videos of like,
Their facial animation messing up.
but no, like Cole being like, we see you out here on the 8th. What are you doing? And it's like a little kid or something. She's like, I was at home, and he's like, you're fucking lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
A friend of mine was playing it, and it was like it was this girl that like was attacked, and they were in the interrogation room, and he was talking about how he was like, tell me what happened, and she was like, well, Well, he came up to me and then he just slammed the table. You're a liar! Just started getting up in her face.
I loved the game when I first played through it. I got really mad though because like them expecting you to pick up on twitches through the facial animation
I could never tell. I failed everything.
was horrible. That was a horrible idea. Technology was not cut up yet.
Most people won't be able to see this. I assume most people probably watch our YouTube video of this instead. But like, yeah, you'd like ask or they'd say something and then like lean back in their chair and be like,
But sometimes that would do that and they'd be telling the truth.
yeah, and it's like, why do you look like you're hiding drugs up your butt? And like, you're telling them the truth. You need to calm down, dude. You like, this guy's freaking out over here.
You need to calm down, dude. But I love the game. I liked the whole detective thing. And it was great when you did get something right. But
And then you'd have police car chases, and I would just run into everything.
I never drove. I always let the partner drive. Every single time.
It was hard to drive in that game.
I didn't fast travel. I just let them drive. And I loved that because I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about this. But yeah, because you get fined in that game. If you hit something or you do something wrong driving, you get paid or you have to pay. And I was like, I ain't dealing with this. No. Which it was crazy because like I didn't explore the map at all.
Oh, no,
like I mean, it's basically GTA as far as like exploring. Like there were hidden cars that you could find in the world.
Really?
Yeah. And
I couldn't tell you a single thing that was on that map.
There were side missions that you could just happen upon. Like the one time that I did drive, I ran into like a shootout that was happening. And I went in like saved somebody. But yeah, I mean there was all sorts of stuff you could have done. But the cool thing about this is the Switch version has all sorts of features. Like you can use the Joy-Cons in certain sections for like gyroscope and motion control. There's also, if you're playing in handheld mode, there's some touch functionality. I imagine for like flipping pages or something, or I don't know, investigating.
Slamming down on the table.
Yeah, slamming it down on the table.
Just throw the Switch on the table.
And then the PS4 and Xbox, it's basically just remastered. It's got all the DLC in it. But the thing that I'm really excited about, I mean, obviously the Switch version might be cool. It's not going to have enhanced graphics or anything. No. But the thing I'm more excited about is the VR. They're doing a VR version of this. About that. And it's basically going to be the 7 cases from the first game, but just remastered for VR. So I imagine it's going to be a lot more disjointed, like you're just teleporting from place to place and you're in a little space that you can look around in. I could be wrong, but I'm legit excited for VR. It's only coming to HTC Vive right now, but if it does come to PSVR, I'm pumped.
You'd be like sitting in a chair as Cole, and it'd be like watch this person's face. You could literally slam, but it's like if you like did certain things that like sketch the people out you're like trying to like interview more, and you just like get really close to them. And they're like, what are you doing? Get away from me.
I've always wanted to be in an interrogation room and like be the bad cop and just be like leaned up in their face, just like get up in there.
You want to be the bad cop?
Yeah, I'd be a horrible bad cop.
That should be one of our skits. Good cop, bad cop.
We could do that. There's a hilarious skit. I want to say it was in the new animated Justice League show that's on right now. They did this funny bit where Batman and Superman were going into an interrogation room, and Superman was like, I want to be the bad cop, Batman. You always get to be the bad cop. So Batman's like, fine, we can switch, whatever. And so they go in, and Superman's like, where is she? But like he breaks the table in half, and the guy's like, oh my god! And Batman walks in and is like, would you like some coffee or something? Like hands him a glass of coffee. But he's like all graveled and hunched over, and he's like, would you like some coffee? The guy was so confused, he just confessed. It was pretty funny, but anyway. I digress. That's that. So
that's that.
That's that,
y'all.
Speaking of Switch, there's this little game called Stardew Valley.
Have they announced a date?
No.
God dang it.
There's this little game named Stardew Valley that's coming, but Stardew Valley publishers are making a new game, and it's being called Stardew Valley meets Harry Potter.
I saw it. I was thinking Little Witch Academia.
I was just about to say, from what I've seen, it's more like Little Witch Academia.
Yeah,
But
and all we've seen is that one screenshot.
there's one screenshot. It looks like a town. But I really like the idea of being kind of like a wizard or a witch
Yeah, if it's
in like a sim.
Yeah, if it's like Harvest Moon with witches and
With
stuff.
magic?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be so cool.
It'd be like, instead of growing crops, you can grow all this weird magic stuff.
I thought you were going to say weed.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
That's what
Well,
wizards and
magic
witches
stuff.
do.
They just do weed.
They grow pot.
Okay, hashtag timeout. History moment here. I learned today that most of the things we know about witches, like pointy hats, brooms, cats,
Or
all
about breweries?
yes,
Yeah.
breweries. There were these women. They were called alewives.
Did you watch the thing with
Yeah, I
Dodger?
watched this whole video. Is that who did it?
Was it the girl?
I don't. Mine was just like it was like pictures, and it had like words of what was happening. But anyway, these women called ale wives, they brewed beer, and that's what they did. And they wore pointy hats, so they stood out. They put a broom outside to signify that beer was ready or brewing or something. They kept cats to keep the mice away from the grain.
The grain?
There was the grain. They brewed the beer in black cauldrons and stuff. And so when men wanted to get into the beer brewing industry, they made them out to be witches. And that's how all that came about. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I thought it was
That's
so
crazy.
Cool. Anyway. Speaking of things that are crazy, I don't know.
All these segues.
So, Steven, do you remember a few months, I guess it was almost a month ago, we were talking about Netflix losing all its Disney stuff, Disney pulling out of Netflix?
Yep.
So, this is a developing story because we've bounced back and forth on this. I think a week after we talked about that, Steven, our big question was what's going to happen to Marvel and Star Wars?
Right.
About a week after that, we got confirmation that most likely they would stay. Since then, we have now gotten final confirmation from Bob Iger, who's saying, no, Star Wars and Marvel movies are coming off of Netflix and they're going to be on the Disney service. But he doesn't mention Daredevil or Jessica Jones or any of those.
I would assume
Those are
because
staying.
that's part of Marvel.
But
I don't
how are
know,
they going to
those are
do that?
Netflix
Because that's
paid for.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix is making those.
Yeah, those
So-
are gonna stay.
I
Probably
feel like they're going to
everything
stay.
After is gone now.
Do what?
Like those franchises, like they're gonna keep making stuff for those franchises.
Uh-huh. But everything else is gone.
I would think that they'd just move everything to Disney now.
Well, you know that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in which the Netflix shows, the ABC shows, and the movies take place, are scattered across several different distribution platforms. There's a Runaways TV show that is coming out on Hulu.
Right.
So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that, yes, the Defenders shows, like Daredevil, Punisher, all that kind of stuff, those are staying on Netflix because that's the best distribution platform for them, but they still stay within the confines of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's not too far-fetched because everything's already kind of scattered anyway.
Yeah. See, I feel like it doesn't make any sense for them to pull those off and do it on this Disney subscription service.
Which, by the way, just if any big companies out there are watching this video for some reason, can like everyone just chill out and stop making their own subscription services? Because I'm tired of paying for everything. There's too many things
when
to
we were
pay
talking,
for.
when me and Steven were talking about it, our kind of ending point was how long until there's so many subscription services that it's going to be cheaper now again to just have TV. Because
I
that's
know.
why all these subscriptions are going so well, because they're cheaper than cable.
Yeah, I know. Like that's why a lot of people are scared of like net neutrality being taken out
Right,
and stuff.
right.
Is that like I think I've seen like screenshots of like how plans and stuff work like in some other countries that don't have net neutrality laws.
Right.
And it's like you have like a social messenger subscription that has like access to Facebook and Twitter and all that, and then you have music and TV, and it's all split up into these different subscriptions that you have
No,
to pay for.
no
And
thank
it's
you.
like, let's not get to that point. Let's
No,
just
thank
say I pay $60 a month, and I just get access to all this.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, one interesting point that I saw someone else make on Twitter today was they were talking about the Disney subscription service, and they were just like, I don't know that I would want this. Like there's not enough. Like Disney does a ton of stuff, obviously, but not enough to make me say, oh, that justifies a subscription service to you.
$20 a month.
They were like, they'd have to do something crazy, like open their whole vault. I have access to every Disney movie that ever existed ever.
Get ready for something like that. Not a whole Disney vault kind of thing.
Right.
But get ready for them to roll out something big, whether it's in original programming or something along those lines. Because you really have to ask the question with what they're moving forward. I don't think this question's been answered yet, but what is their demographic?
Right.
And what would make most sense is if their demographic was family and kids.
Right.
And if that is their demographic, then having the animated movies, the Pixar stuff, the original programming from Disney Channel, maybe even the archive of all past Disney Channel shows, stuff like that, that would make more sense. But I don't know what the content's going to be, and they really haven't talked about that yet as far as I know. So either it's going to be, between $5 and $10, and they're going to roll out a lot of content, or it's going to be less than $5, and it's going to be more of a movie streaming service. So,
and that's the other thing. If it was cheap enough,
I don't think
it might could justify. But well, anyway, all right. Last thing I want to talk about. So
Pocahontas 2?
No, we don't have time for Pocahontas 2. Steven, you and I are both really excited about Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War.
Yes.
Are you excited for that, Brody?
I like the first one.
You played through the first one, but you got it like after, like you got it on sale
I got
or
it
something.
like way after.
Yeah.
Like when it was like $10 for like everything.
Right. Well, me and Steven are hyped. Okay, we're hyped. We're hyped for this. Warner Brothers has announced a charity DLC for one of their developers who tragically died while they were making this. The developer's name was Michael Forgey, and they've created this character. I'm trying to find his name. He's Fort Hog Orc Slayer. And he's basically, if you've ever played Fallout 4, he sounds a lot like the mysterious man who just would randomly pop up, kill an enemy, and then leave. They kind of have some lore about him, like he's this mysterious orc slayer that shows up, whatever. Basically, you can pay, I think it's $5 for him, and it just it's $4.99. You can pay that for him to get him, and they're saying that the money is going to his family, to support his family.
For a year.
Yeah, which all sounds great. It all sounds good, whatever. When I first saw this, I was just like, oh, okay, that's really, really cool. That's nice. In the fine print, though, people are starting to get a little frustrated because...
Actually, I did see something last week that there's 3 states not included in that. Is that what you're getting to?
Yeah. So
we are one of those.
Yeah, I know. It's more than 3. There's only 44 states that are... The term they used was like regulated or something. If you're in one of those 44 states, the money will go to his family. Mm-hmm. If you're not, and our state is not one of them, then your money doesn't go to his family. You're just paying the $5. Mm-hmm. And so I was just like, well, that sucks because I was planning on doing this. The other thing that people kind of were getting frustrated about was you're paying $5, but only $3.50 of that was going to the family, and the other half or whatever was supposed to be going towards like charges just to like make it happen or something. Mm-hmm. Which I'm kind of like, I've looked at some of that, and I think that feels fairly justified. But like certain countries can't. Mm-hmm. Like it basically, if you're not in one of these 44 states, you're not gonna be able to do it. Like there's this guy from Canada who tweeted out about it, and he was just like, so wait, am I not gonna be able to support this? And they were like, no, sorry, but you can spread the word.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, whatever.
Spread the word. Spread the word to what? Not buy the DLC.
Yeah. Well, no, spread the word to buy the DLC.
But why would you spread the word if you can't? I'd just be like, sure, I'll spread the word that you can't. Or if you buy this DLC, you're not supporting this family.
Well, only if you're in Canada with his friends, which I guess would mostly be it. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I don't know, Steven. How do you feel about this? I'm a little frustrated, but
That's weird. You would think that in a situation like that, that maybe they would start some kind of charitable cause online to where you could, if you were like, hey, I'm not from those states, but I want to support this family, how can I help?
Yeah,
and then they'd be like, oh yeah, go here. But at the same time, that kind of seems redundant. So I don't see how that's applicable, that they can't regulate the money towards the guy's family just because of the states. And I mean, I
guess it's just
know,
like
or
state laws
or
something.
well, yeah, but or why not say for every DLC bought, we're gonna match that up to however much or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just kind of interesting, and a lot of it's brought back the question of why are they introducing microtransactions into this game all of a sudden, and I think a lot of people are just kind of getting frustrated over that. So
I've seen a lot of the stuff that's like the microtransactions in that game actually seem like kind of pay to win. I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you're basically
It's
getting
shortcuts.
orcs, and you're getting different like weapons and stuff.
Yeah, and I know like
So-
the original like pay to win was kind of like a multiplayer thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think is like you would pay to have better things. So that's the thing that I don't get about Shadow of War. Is like it used to be like if you pay to win, you would pay to get the better weapons and be better than everyone else. In this, you're paying to get these better orcs and stuff. But why? There's no point.
There is.
There is.
There's multiplayer after you beat the game, from what I understand.
Really?
and
Go ahead, Steven, you might know more.
I was just gonna say also that you'd be surprised with how many microtransactions are being forced now, because Ghost Recon Wildlands has microtransactions where you can say, I don't want to go around the map and take the 5 minutes it takes to get this gun. Let me just buy it. So that could be another means for microtransactions to where you'd be like, well, I don't want to go get this sword. Let me just buy it now. Which is kind of weird. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
Because in Ghost Recon's case, it's stuff that's not behind a paywall. It's just there if I want to pay for it.
Right.
But it still seems just excessive.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little curious how that game's going to go. But anywho.
Well, to me, just real quick, I feel like that's definitely more of the publisher, Warner Bros. The whole, especially the charity thing and the microtransactions thing. Because it doesn't seem like the developer would make that decision.
Yeah. It's definitely Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Thanks, Steven, for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you, people who are watching or listening, for watching or listening. We do hope you have enjoyed this podcast. We do it every Friday. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on everything we talked about today. You can do that in a plethora of ways. It's a lot of ways. You can go to youtube.com/c/ChortleGames. And you can leave us a comment on this YouTube video. Or if you're a podcast listener, you can go to iTunes and leave us a nice little review. You can also email us at ChortleCast@gmail.com and send us what you thought, what you like. If you got any topics you'd like to hear us talk about, feel free to send that way. You can also, last but not least, get us on Twitter at ChortleGames, and we'll tweet you back.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some good stuff coming up for you this week. We're going to have another episode of Fortnite with Miles and Steven. It's a little crazy. Miles kind of loses it about all sorts of different things, so be prepared for that, as he always does. Wednesday, we're going to have Ancient Amuleter, a VR game where you're tower defending. It's a lot of fun. Brody was a mage and a shotgunner. He had a lot of fun shooting up Egyptians or mummies of some sort. Violent, very violent. But yeah, so, and then we'll have another podcast Friday. So,
Yep.
Thanks again, Steven, for popping in
Always
and
a
hanging
pleasure.
out and talking Destiny with us. And yeah, any closing thoughts?
Always eat before a podcast, or else you'll be very hungry throughout the filming process.
So always eat. That's what I got out of that.
Always eat.
Always
Just
eat.
always eat.
Always eat. We'll see you next time.